Did you know that nearly 58% of men over the age of 60 experience frequent nighttime urination, reduced vitality, or trouble sleeping deeply? Yet they rarely consider that the cause might lie in the very fruit they eat every morning. According to the United States National Institute on Aging, more than 46% of older adults consume dietary supplements or fruit daily. But many do not realize that certain types of fruit may irritate the prostate, disrupt aging-related hormones, and make urinary symptoms more noticeable. If you have ever tried to eat healthily but still feel tired, urinate often, and struggle to maintain stable male vitality, it might be time to change just one small detail in your daily diet. Before we continue, please take a moment to subscribe. If this message feels relevant to you, type the number 1. If not, feel free to type 0. I read every comment to improve the content for people like you. Now, let us begin with the first fruit that is often seen as a symbol of summer, but may silently carry hidden risks. The first fruit is pineapple, sweet but risky for the prostate. Over the years, I have met many older male patients who started eating pineapple daily, hoping to boost their immunity, cleanse their digestive tract, and support digestion. They believed that a sweet, juicy fruit rich in enzymes like pineapple would surely benefit their aging body. However, what few people realize is that pineapple contains a very high level of natural sugars, especially fructose, which is one of the key triggers for silent inflammation in prostate tissue over time. After the age of 60, the prostate is already sensitive to changes in hormones and internal balance, and it becomes even more vulnerable to sugars that provoke low-grade but prolonged inflammation. Additionally, pineapple contains an enzyme widely praised as bromelain, often considered a natural anti-inflammatory compound, yet for older men whose prostate is already mildly enlarged, bromelain may actually increase blood flow in the lower abdominal region, making the existing inflammation harder to manage. In other words, it is like pouring oil onto a slow-burning flame, turning minor discomfort into constant fatigue. Another factor to consider is pineapple's natural acidity. This acidity, which gives the fruit its refreshing, tangy taste, can irritate the bladder lining and urinary tract, causing a frequent urge to urinate, incomplete emptying, or even multiple nighttime trips to the bathroom without a clear cause. If you often eat pineapple in the late afternoon or evening, this habit could be disrupting your sleep, limiting your body's recovery, and gradually draining your vitality. However, I am not suggesting that you must completely remove pineapple from your diet. If you truly enjoy this fruit, having a small piece occasionally at lunchtime, when your body still has time to process it, may still be acceptable. But if you are experiencing symptoms such as frequent nighttime urination, uncomfortable urges, or noticeable drops in vitality, try cutting out pineapple for 1 week and observe how your body responds. Instead, you can switch to ripe pears, sweet apples, or a few blueberries, which do not contain stimulating enzymes and may naturally help soothe the prostate. Sometimes, a small change in your fruit basket can make a big difference in your sleep, energy, and the lightness you feel when you wake up in the morning. The second fruit is oranges, grapefruit, and citrus fruits. When vitamin C is no longer your ally, for as long as we can remember, we have been told to start the day with a glass of orange juice or enjoy a sweet grapefruit to boost vitamin C and support immunity. For older adults, especially men over 60, this sounds perfectly reasonable because everyone wants to strengthen their immune system and feel more energized each morning. But what few people realize is that citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and tangerines tend to be very acidic, and this acidity can irritate the prostate, which is already prone to inflammation due to aging. When you consume a lot of citrus fruits during the day, especially in the morning on an empty stomach, the lining of your urinary tract and bladder becomes more vulnerable to acid, which can lead to urgency, fréque urination, or a sensation of incomplete emptying. Many describe this as the feeling of still needing to go even after finishing, a fairly common sign of mild prostate irritation. Beyond acidity, the natural sugars found in oranges and tangerines can also contribute to prolonged low-grade inflammation, especially in men whose prostate is already beginning to enlarge with age. You may not notice an immediate change after just one serving, but if you are drinking orange juice every morning or eating a lot of oranges in the evening, your body may respond with subtle signals such as restless sleep, increased nighttime bathroom visits, or a persistent sense of pressure or fullness in the lower abdomen. A study from Harvard Health has shown that the habit of eating highly acidic fruit consistently can increase the risk of urinary tract irritation in older adults, particularly among men with early signs of prostate enlargement. Of course, this does not mean oranges are inherently harmful. If you truly enjoy them, choose sweet varieties with lower acidity. Eat them in moderation and avoid consuming them in the late afternoon or evening. But if you are noticing unexplained urinary changes, trouble sleeping, or a decline in vitality, taking a 1-week break from citrus fruits may be a helpful test. As alternatives, you can choose apples, pears, or blueberries. These fruits not only contain high levels of antioxidants, but are also much gentler on the urinary system and the prostate. When you begin to pay attention to the acidity of your fruit, you may understand why certain foods that seem healthy actually leave you feeling more tired. And if oranges and grapefruits were not on your list of concerns, you may be surprised by the next fruit, soft, fragrant, and widely loved in the morning. It is often considered one of the safest choices. The third fruit is bananas, good for the heart but worth reconsidering for the prostate. Bananas have long been included in the list of healthy foods for older adults because they are soft, easy to digest, rich in potassium, and help provide a lasting sense of fullness. Many older gentlemen I've met during consultations have shared that they eat a banana each morning as a way to support heart health and boost their energy. On the surface, this sounds completely reasonable. Since the potassium in bananas helps regulate blood pressure and supports the function of the heart and muscles, especially in aging individuals. However, what most people overlook is that bananas can have the opposite effect on the prostate, particularly when eaten in excess or at the wrong time. After the age of 60, the kidney's ability to filter water and balance electrolytes begins to decline slightly, which means potassium levels in the blood can accumulate more easily with daily intake. This leads to increased water and salt retention in soft tissues, creating added pressure in the lower abdomen. For a prostate that is already sensitive or beginning to enlarge with age, this can heighten the feeling of tightness, difficulty urinating, and nighttime trips to the bathroom. Another rarely mentioned point is that bananas contain a small amount of plant-based phytosterols, compounds that have a structure similar to hormones in the body. When consumed frequently, phytosterols may influence male hormone balance and alter how the prostate responds to hormonal signals, quietly prolonging low-grade inflammation without a clear cause. I have met many individuals who believed that eating 3 to 4 bananas a day was healthy, but after stopping banana intake for 1 week, they noticed a significant reduction in nighttime awakenings, deeper sleep, and a lighter feeling in the lower abdomen. This does not mean you have to give up bananas entirely if you truly enjoy this fruit. You can still eat 1 banana in the morning, ideally after having a light snack beforehand to avoid direct impact on an empty stomach. At the same time, avoid eating bananas in the late afternoon or evening, especially if you experience nighttime urination or disturbed sleep. As a substitute or balance, you might try a slice of papaya, half a ripe pear, or some kiwi. These are gentler choices that are less likely to affect the kidneys or hormonal balance. Sometimes, even the healthiest foods can become troublesome if used excessively or at the wrong time. And if bananas have surprised you, get ready for the next summer. Fruit loved for its sweetness and coolness, but notorious for disturbing nighttime rest. The 4th fruit is watermelon, cooling treat or cause of sleepless nights. During the summer, it is hard to resist a cold, juicy, and sweet slice of watermelon. For many older adults, it is not just a refreshing dessert, but also a nostalgic reminder of childhood summers. However, for men over the age of 60 who experience nighttime urination or the sensation of incomplete emptying, watermelon may be one of the hidden reasons behind disrupted sleep. Watermelon is made up of over 90% water, and this can become a problem if your prostate is slightly enlarged or shows signs of chronic inflammation. When the prostate enlarges, it presses against the urethra, making urination more difficult. At this point, if you take in a large amount of water from watermelon, especially in the evening, your body will repeatedly send signals to fill the bladder, leading to frequent urges to urinate throughout the night. It is not just the water content. Watermelon also contains natural sugar in the form of fructose. And when eaten frequently or in large amounts, this type of sugar can increase systemic inflammation in the body, especially in prostate tissues that are already prone to irritation with age. Prolonged, mild inflammation may not cause sharp pain, but can leave you feeling uncomfortable, heavy in the lower abdomen, and uneasy when urinating. I once followed the case of a 70-year-old patient who had made it a nightly habit to eat watermelon after dinner. After stopping for 10 days, he noticed that he slept more soundly, woke up less often, and felt more refreshed in the morning, even without taking any medication. This shows that sometimes a small habit like eating watermelon at the wrong time can cause major disruptions in your daily life. If you enjoy watermelon, I'll try eating it at noon or early in the afternoon when your body still has time to process the water and sugar before bedtime. You can also switch to fruits with lower water content, such as blueberries, mulberries, or a slice of ripe apple. These still help with hydration and digestion without placing extra strain on your urinary system. Most importantly, pay attention to how your body reacts after each meal. If a particular food causes more bathroom trips or disrupts your sleep, that is the natural signal your prostate is trying to send you. And if you think watermelon was surprising, the final fruit may surprise you even more. It is small, sweet, and almost always present on the dining table each week. The fifth fruit is grapes, small but with a big impact on the urinary system. There is one fruit that almost always appears on the table each week because of its convenience and pleasant taste, and that is grapes. For many older adults, snacking on a few grapes in the afternoon brings a relaxing feeling, helps relieve dry mouth, and becomes a hard-to-break habit. But for men over 60 who are dealing with nighttime urination, difficulty urinating, or a heavy feeling in the lower abdomen, eating grapes too frequently may actually worsen the condition. First, it is important to understand that grapes contain a fairly high amount of natural sugar. And when consumed in large quantities or throughout the day, this sugar can contribute to mild inflammation in the prostate area. This inflammation does not cause obvious pain, but can create a sense of discomfort when urinating, increase nighttime bathroom visits, or lead to a constant urge to urinate even when the bladder is not full. Additionally, grapes contain tannins, a compound that may irritate the bladder lining and heighten urinary sensitivity, especially when the prostate has already started to enlarge with age. I once worked with a 68-year-old patient who ate grapes as a daily dessert every afternoon, yet had to wake up 2 to 3 times each night to go to the bathroom. When he stopped eating grapes for 1 week and replaced them with a few blueberries, the results were truly surprising. He slept more deeply, stopped waking up repeatedly, and felt more refreshed in the morning. Of course, no one is asking you to completely eliminate grapes. If you truly enjoy them, you can still eat a few small pieces at lunchtime. However, pay attention to portion and timing, because eating at the right time and in moderation will help prevent additional stimulation to the prostate. If you notice more frequent urination after eating grapes or experience restless sleep, try pausing for a few days and observe the change. As alternatives, you can try blueberries, strawberries, or a slice of ripe apple. All are healthy choices and less likely to irritate the urinary tract. Once you understand that even a small fruit can affect urinary health, you will see that every food choice you make is either helping to support or disrupt your hormonal balance as you age. After exploring 5 familiar fruits that may silently irritate the prostate and affect urinary function, you may now be viewing the fruit basket in your home from a whole new perspective. Pineapple, oranges, bananas, watermelon, and grapes are all commonly considered healthy foods in many nutritional guides. But for men over 60, when the prostate becomes increasingly sensitive to sugar, acid, fluid, and hormone-related compounds in food, these very fruits can gradually weaken your foundation of male vitality without anyone realizing it. Male health in later life does not depend on taking more supplements or using quick fix energy boosters. It begins with small habits, especially in your daily food choices, including which fruits you eat and when you eat them. A banana in the morning may support your heart, but cause fluid retention if consumed excessively. A sweet slice of watermelon in the evening may cool your body but disrupt your sleep due to repeated nighttime urination. A handful of soft, sweet grapes in the afternoon may lift your mood but irritate the bladder if eaten too often. If you feel like you have tried many approaches yet still struggle with nighttime urination, poor sleep, or declining energy, perhaps what you need is not a new solution, but a gentle adjustment to what you already know and use. A study from the American Urological Association found that men over 60 who reduced high sugar fruits and increased their intake of mildly anti-inflammatory options like pears, blueberries, apples, or strawberries showed significant improvement in nighttime urination. They also experienced a more balanced natural hormone profile within 4 to 6 weeks without medication. So, where can you start? Try changing just one small choice each day. This morning, instead of orange juice, choose a glass of warm water with red apple slices or enjoy a piece of ripe pear. At lunch, if you want fruit for dessert, try a few blueberries or mulberries instead of grapes. Tonight, instead of watermelon after dinner, you could choose a small cup of warm nut milk or a soothing ginger tea. These changes may not show results overnight, but if you stay consistent for a few weeks, you will likely notice better sleep, steadier energy, and a lighter feeling in your lower abdomen. The most important thing is to listen to your body with intention. Every small signal is a message, a reminder that caring for your prostate can be simple, respectful, and entirely natural. Looking back on this journey, you may be surprised to learn that fruits commonly believed to be healthy, like pineapple, oranges, bananas, watermelon, and grapes, can actually affect the prostate and urinary function if consumed the wrong way. But the truth is, no food is entirely good or entirely bad. Everything depends on how you use it, when you eat it, and the condition of your body at that time. After the age of 60, a man's body undergoes many hormonal changes, and the kidney's filtering ability, as well as the prostate's responsiveness, also shift. What once worked well at 40 may no longer be a wise choice today. But you do not need to change everything all at once. Starting today, one small action can make a big difference. Simply replace your morning orange juice with a glass of warm water infused with red apple. Switch your dessert to a few blueberries, or skip the watermelon after dinner. These gentle adjustments help give your prostate a chance to rest and allow your body to recover more effectively during sleep. True change does not lie in grand gesturas, but in small, consistent choices, and you are the one who can take that initiative each day. If you found today's message helpful, do not forget to subscribe and leave a comment. We will continue sharing videos on diet, exercise, and natural herbs to support your health and vitality as you age, all in a gentle, pressure-free way. Which of these fruits are you currently eating each week? Share with us in the comments so others can learn and make changes if needed. Because learning to listen to your body is the first step to living longer, living healthier, and truly living with peace of mind.